everyone. This is The Last Word and I'm Marya Shakil. In yet another flashpoint in the language tussle between the Centre and Tamil Nadu, the MK Stalin government has approached the Supreme Court accusing the Narendra Modi dispensation of blocking funds worth 2,151 crores because the southern state did not implement the national education policy. Tamil Nadu has now said in its petition before the Supreme Court that the centre has not contributed its share under the Samagra Shiksha scheme, an integrated scheme for school education from preschool to class 12. The Ministry of Education maintains that the scheme in fact provides support for the implementation of the right of children to free and compulsory education under Act 2009 and is aligned with the recommendation of the National Education Policy. So what is this new and latest flashpoint? First up the story and then I bring in the guests.
Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin announcing the next assault against the centre in the battle for funds, 24 hours after moving the top court. Stalin declared on social media that he was heading to Delhi on the 24th to claim Tamil Nadu's fair financial rights at the Niti Aayog meeting. Tamil Nadu government has moved the SC against the centre for allegedly withholding more than 2,000 crore rupees under a centrally sponsored education scheme. The state alleges funds aren't being released to coerce and force the state to implement the national education policy. The petition claims centre's action is unconstitutional and violates the spirit of federalism.
We want to ensure that the NEP is not implemented in the state of Tamil Nadu. So we want a due share. The constitution mandates it has to be given equitably distributed to all the states. The question is this: why are you withholding this money? How dare you withhold this money?
Nobody knows who is guiding MK Stalin. This is the dumbest move ever. State which is borrowing lakhs and lakhs of crores is pleading to the central government for 2,150 crores. It's a governance issue. At one side they say that we are willing to open Navodaya schools which follows NEP. On the other side they say no, we are against NEP.
The Stalin government's fresh case also says the MOU of the PM Shri schools dictates NEP implementation in Tamil Nadu. It says, and I quote, "Such coercive tactics are neither legally permissible nor consistent with state legislation, especially since the state has adopted the two-language formula." Tamil Nadu government also says that the attempt to link the Samagra Shiksha scheme with the PM Shri school scheme is unjustified. Apart from the funds issue, Stalin has also attacked leader of opposition EPS for his alliance with BJP in his social media post. Clearly, Stalin is in poll mode, weaponizing Tamil pride and federalism with assembly elections next year. His twin targets are BJP and the AIDMK. Bureau report for NDTV.
And joining me on The Last Word tonight, Dr. R.K. Radhakrishnan. He is the Senior Associate Editor with Frontline. We have Uma Anandan, BJP Councillor. Sarvanan Anadurai is a spokesperson of the DMK. And we also have Dr. Sumant Raman, political analyst and commentator. Dr. Radhakrishnan, beginning with you, sir. This seems to be a point of total confrontation. And now with the state government approaching the Supreme Court, particularly with regards to what they say, funds being stopped, do you think it's only making matters worse?
Good evening, viewers, and thank you, Maria, for the opportunity. Yes, there is a problem right away because the state of Tamil Nadu has adopted the two-language policy, and it is not just the DMK which has adopted this. The AIDMK was the first to turn down NEP when it was in power. This was in 2020. So both political parties, the major political parties which has governed the state from 1967, are opposed to the are opposed to the three-language policy and the implementation of the NEP. Obviously, the state government at this point of time is extremely hard-pressed for finances. And yes, any money, whether it is 2,000 crores or whether it is 1,000 crores here and there, make a huge difference. You would remember that the drought relief or the flood relief that the state had asked for in successive years for the first 5 or 6 years has not been materialized at all, to the extent that the state has only received about a 10th or even a 20th of the amount it has asked for, whereas some other states, which are BJP-ruled states, get much more amount. So there is, of course, as Satyan pointed out, there is obviously a huge problem with borrowing and financial chances in the state. And so any money, even if it's 2,000 crores, goes a very long way to help the government in its attempt to shore up education in the state.
Uma Anandan, respond to this. I mean, why is the centre appearing to be vindictive here?
See, first, understand one thing. The bureaucrat who has written a letter to the centre asking for the release of the third and the fourth installment. That means they have received the first and the second installment, having given the assurance that they are going to accept the NEP. Now they have gone back and, as Mr. Diswan says, two-language policy. But the DMK bosses can run schools. All of them run schools with three-language policy. Only the rich can afford. So they want the rich children to learn three languages, any language of their choice. In the fake narrative that Hindi is being imposed, that is wrong. And the two-language policy for corporate, the poor children alone. The bigger the rich children run by these DMK politicians can learn any language, even French. A Tamil Nadu child can finish the education up to engineering or medical without learning the local language Tamil. This much for the harbingers of the Tamil language, the so-called torchbearers of Tamil language. Why have they not made Tamil compulsory in the state? First, later. There are another thing. This, first, the fake narrative, having taken the two installments and then refusing to fall into the policy. The Tamil Nadu government has a widow pension or a female, the female ladies being given 1,000 rupees every month and all that. They have certain criteria for that, rules. For the female pension, she should not have children. That is what they are telling. The female, if they have a child, they are not entitled for the 1,000 rupees pension. They have this rule, isn't it? If they have a child, they cannot get. So why should we not have rules, national education policy, the Navodaya schools, all that are the rules and regulations for getting the amount. Now, first you promise that you will take that, got the money, and then going back on this. So watch, and then again the Tamil Nadu CM. First, let him, not like a school kid, go along knocking at the doors. First, let him not take up a fake narrative. All these are, it is not vindication. It is, we have certain rules and regulations for a policy, for a release of certain schemes and all that. If they don't follow with the Tamil Nadu government, release funds for a policy for a public person like me or somebody, if we don't fall into that category, they have to follow the rules, the criteria set up for everyone.
Saravanan Annadurai, will you respond to that? If the bureaucrat promised that they will implement NEP and then the first tranche was released, and then you go back on the promise.
Bureaucrat, the Tamil Nadu government, the bureaucrat wrote the letter.
Okay, Tamil Nadu government promised, and then the money is released, and then you go back on your words. Then, and if the two are linked, then how is the centre wrong in not in not holding it back?
Yeah, see, it's a lie. When they say that the bureaucrat has agreed or the Tamil Nadu government has agreed, it is a lie. Of course, what else can we expect from BJP except lies? Shut up. Will you shut up?
No, please, no, sir, no.
Yeah,
that is not allowed. You will behave yourself. You will be polite to the women on this panel. There will be no use of such words on my shows, please.
Okay.
Let's extend all courtesies to women, please.
Ask her to keep quiet when I'm speaking.
Yes, please, she will, but you will not use that word on my shows.
Okay, keep quiet. Ask her to keep quiet.
She is silent. You make your point.
Yes, so it's a lie. When they say that we have agreed to this, it is a lie. We have not agreed to it. It is conditional. You send your offers. See, we are against this national education policy. We won the election on the plank that we will not implement national education policy. Then how will the bureaucrat go and agree that we will implement national education policy? That is a lie. And BJP knows how to plant a lie. And on national television, they are telling this lie. And you think the Tamil Nadu government is foolish enough to go ahead and file when they have already given a concession, that too in the Supreme Court? We know what to do. See, it is blatant falsehood and it is our money. It is not the money. This money is not, we are not demanding this from the BJP's huge coffer of 7,000 crores. Or we are not demanding this money from the PM Cares fund. We are demanding this money from the Government of India fund, which is also funded by the taxpayers of Tamil Nadu. This is our entitlement. We have been opposing three-language formula since time immemorial. So we will not allow that now. There is no question of three-language formula. When they say PM Shri schools, there will be a three-language formula. We said, sorry, we will not do it because we are against three-language formula and we will also not implement national education policy. That is what it is. Now they were caught in the wrong foot. And the arrogance, the audacity of the education minister, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, oh, we will not release money, as though we are asking it from his kitty. It is not possible. See, SSA is different. NEP is different. SSA is linked to right to education. SSA is not linked to NEP or a three-language formula. But the BJP is linking them all and trying to fool the people. And people of Tamil Nadu are fully aware of this evil designs of the BJP.
So you are saying, Mr. Annadurai, that the two aren't linked and the BJP is blocking funds. Is that the charge?
Absolutely.
That is the reason why you have approached the Supreme Court?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So from where is this linking of the two schemes happening, ma'am?
See, first understand, when I didn't say that, I didn't say the bureaucrat wrote. Why is the bureaucrat writing? Release the third and the fourth installment.
It is the state government which has written, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yes, release the third and the fourth installment. The bureaucrat has written. That means they've received the first three installments. Isn't it? The letter denotes that. What does it denote then? Now, let him answer. Let him answer this. When his bosses can run schools, when his bosses can run schools with three language and all that, and learn French, their bosses' children will learn French, everything. But it is not available for the poor children. Why should they have the three language policy in their politician schools alone?
No, ma'am. That is a different argument that is being made here. So the question here is, I will bring in Dr. Sumant Raman. Dr. Sumant Raman, why is the centre then linking Samagra Shiksha scheme with the national education policy, as is being alleged by the DMK?
Where is it linked? I have checked the national education policy. It does not, at least to the best of my knowledge, does not say anywhere that the release of funds for Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan will be linked to the state accepting the national education policy. I have not seen that, unless it is some internal document which has been circulated among the states. Now, the point is very simple. Now, if the centre, first of all, acceptance of the national education policy is not mandatory for the states. Tamil Nadu has never accepted it. From the inception of the national education policy, Tamil Nadu has not accepted it. And that has not stopped the centre from giving funds to Tamil Nadu under the various programs, including the erstwhile, the predecessor of Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, which was called Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. So, first of all, let us understand one thing. One, there is no need as per law for the government of Tamil Nadu to accept the national education policy. Point number one. Point number two, where in this policy is this linkage being made? If this linkage does not exist in the policy document, where does it exist? Where is the GO or whatever that has been passed saying that funds will not be released to the states who do not accept the national education policy? And for which schemes are under that? So, for instance, there is the PM Shri schools. Now, PM Shri schools also Tamil Nadu has not accepted. So does that mean that a separate set of funds will be deducted for that? Some other funds will be deducted for Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan? What kind of absurdity is this? So I think that the state government is completely justified in going to the Supreme Court and demanding that these funds are released. Unless there is an order that has been passed making this linkage, which so far nobody from the BJP, either the state or the centre, has put out in the public domain. Okay. Stating so that here is the order.
Dr. Raman, you are saying that because the centre will be asked to explain, and if they actually on record explain that the two are linked, then perhaps holding it back would make sense. But if it is not really linked...
So far, they have not produced a shred of evidence.
So if it is not linked, then the state government is well within its right to question.
My gut feel is the centre will release the fund shortly and avoid this litigation being carried out in the Supreme Court.
Okay. Yeah, I'll add to that. Let me add to that, Marya.
Sure, sir.
See, the situation right now is that the DMK is the only party which has not embarrassed the centre over this selection of delegation to go abroad and all of that. Every other political party has had some reservations or the other. You should see this in that particular light, wherein a political party is readily supporting the viewpoint of the BJP and endorsing what happened in Op Sindoor and complete semantics and optics of it. So at this point of time, it is not very wise to pick on the DMK and say that the DMK is a very difficult party to deal with, given that the DMK has been readily offering support, unlike the Congress, unlike the TMC, and unlike the Uddhav Thackeray's party, all of which required a second round of consultations, and after that only they have nominated their people. Now, this is one part of it. The second part of it, obviously, is that the centre requires some kind of push, and a kind of push to say, okay, now since you've gone to the Supreme Court, now that becomes a problem for us. So let us allocate this money. So that could be one kind of thing. It could be that the DMK is kind of giving a pressure to the BJP via the Supreme Court without an intention of actually pursuing the case. The point is that if they actually pursue the case, there could be far-reaching constitutional remedies that would come out of this. This is a constitutional question. It is definitely not a question which can be decided on just this one particular case. What is the role of the states when it comes to disbursement of money? Does it hinge on how much the states are contributing, or should it be some other criteria? So far, it has been some other criteria which the BJP has decided that it will be a criteria of whatever I decide is right. Congress also did the same thing when it was ruling at the centre. Now the DMK has come up with this question. It's an extremely important constitutional question, but I doubt if it will reach its logical conclusion. I think there will be some kind of deal between the centre and the BJP, and the BJP could allot this money, as Sumant was saying.
Okay, so
one quick point, Marya. One very quick
sure,
point.
Sir. Both of you are in agreement that there could be that none of
Yeah.
the parties would want a prolonged litigation here.
And interestingly, after boycotting the Niti Aayog meeting for the last 3 years, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister has graciously accepted to grace the Niti Aayog meeting this year, even though he still maintains that nothing has changed, that the state is still being victimized by the centre. But this year, for some strange reason, he feels that it is better to make his protest heard at the meeting than not attending the meeting. So that's another very interesting sidelight to this entire issue.
Underline the word gracious. Underline the word Mr. Sumantraman said, graciously agreed. We know the reason.
But ma'am, the question is, no. As journalists and analysts, we will ask that if it is coming at a point where both the centre and the Tamil Nadu government have been on a path of total confrontation, if there is a Niti Aayog meeting which is happening, and in that meeting, after skipping it for 3 years, MK Stalin chooses to attend it. No, ma'am, one moment.
Yes.
Exactly.
And just a year ahead of elections.
Exactly.
Just a year ahead of elections, where each and every issue is being made like a larger than life point of confrontation between the two sides. The rupee symbol becomes the point of a total war path. Then obviously questions will be asked.
Family comes first. Family is primary. We have to push aside everything else for the sake of family.
Marya, can I comment?
You know what's happening? This.
Okay. So you are saying that no. Okay.
There is an ulti.
Go ahead.
See,
Marya, last word to me.
Yes, Saravanan. No. You will get last word. I have a long show, Abhi, so please just hold on to your thoughts. But Saravanan, go ahead.
Because
I'll give you the last word also.
That
Please
madam,
go ahead.
no, just a moment. That madam was talking about corruption.
Yes.
BJP is the most corrupt party.
Did I say?
The electoral bond
Did
scam.
I talk about?
The most corrupt regime anybody in India had ever seen is the BJP's regime. Yeah.
He has to laugh.
PM Cares Fund. You know how many thousand crores they are having? Electoral bonds. How many thousand crores? Who's looted all that? With the help of Enforcement Directorate?
It was not looted. Man, sir.
It is looted.
Sir,
Electoral bonds is a scam left wide open. With the help of Enforcement Directorate, the BJP looted that money. It's not a joke. What you are making is a joke.
It's taking
If you don't understand the electoral bonds, that is your problem. If you're not able to understand the electoral bonds and how the Supreme Court has laid bare the scam of electoral bonds, it is your problem. The whole country understood. The whole country understood how the BJP scammed everybody. How it stood for only one man. Mr. Adani.
It is at your doorstep. That's why the CM is running for Niti Aayog meeting. We know the graciously was very nicely used by Dr. Sumant Raman. The word. I would say he was being very, very decent and nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Saravanan, will you go ahead?
Yes.
Why is Mr. MK Stalin attending the Niti Aayog meeting is the point being made by Mr. Sumant Raman.
See, our
What is
Chief
this
Minister
understanding which has been arrived at just ahead of elections?
See, just because the Chief Minister goes to a meeting, it doesn't mean that there is an understanding. And when we boycott a meeting, it sends a message. When we don't attend a meeting, it sends a message. And when we attend a meeting, it sends a message. And
only for DMK, not for us.
Mr. MK Stalin.
They have a different yardstick. They have a different yardstick.
Don't get agitated.
Ma'am, let him speak.
I know you are agitated.
Ma'am, let him speak. Yes.
I am not agitated. Only you are agitated.
Then stop your running commentary. Laughing. I know you are the laughing stock. So he will laugh. See, our chief minister knows what to do. He is the man the most feared by the BJP. Whatever the BJP has done in the last 10 years, it is our leader, Mr. MK Stalin, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, who opposed it steadfastly. If somebody takes a clue, we have been the conscience keepers of the entire country. All the anti-people legislation, we have opposed it. It is only the DMK which has opposed it. The BJP is scared of our Chief Minister. And the last point, Mr. Narendra Modi has to get lessons on governance from our Chief Minister, Mr. MK Stalin. How he has grown.
And this is a question to both Dr. Radhakrishnan and Dr. Sumant Raman. Dr. Sumant Raman.
Madam, this is not a DMK public meeting. Please remind Dr. Saravanan this.
Okay.
This is not a DMK public meeting. First, let him answer about the schools run by
I have
DMK politicians.
I have answered. I've asked your leader to come and take lessons on governance.
Tips.
We will give tips on governance so that he'll make India like Tamil Nadu.
About corruption. We know the status of DMK.
That's what I'm saying. You come to the state of ask your leaders to come to the state of Tamil Nadu, take lessons on governance, how to implement schemes, how to build infrastructure, how to benefit the students. Please come here and take lessons so that the entire country will be benefited by what is happening in the state of Tamil Nadu.
And as the tradition has been on the last word, I always give it to the woman on the panel. I will be giving it to Uma Anandan in just a bit. But before that, let me go back to the two analysts who are joining us. Dr. Sumant Raman, the Chief Minister has chosen to attend the Niti Aayog meeting, but he has also tried to send a message just ahead of the meeting that there would be, the war path on which the state government has been is something that that line has to be drawn further. That is the reason why this petition before the Supreme Court, in which they have said, of course, in the harshest of words, saying that there is some kind of larger, the decision, of course, is arbitrary. So do you think that we should be reading much in that attendance, or shouldn't we be seeing that he has perhaps, sent that message that, yes, I might be attending it because it is for cooperative federalism, but as far as my political constituency is concerned, because there's an important election coming next year, I would rather send that message through this petition in the Supreme Court?
I think we need to wait for the next few days. The Enforcement Directorate has carried out a series of raids on the TASMAC, that is the State Liquor Corporation alleged scam over the last few days. Now, there are all kinds of rumors floating around on social media as to what happens next. Knowing the ED and its track record, I don't personally see anything big happening in terms of long-term impact for the DMK as a result of this. But short term, yes, there could be a few more raids, there could be some arrests, and there could be all kinds of, media excitement that is created, which we saw, for instance, in Delhi, where the Delhi liquor case has completely disappeared from public view once the Delhi elections were over. So that is how the sad situation in which some of the agencies have been acting. So it is possible that, the heat may be turned up on the government, on the DMK in the next few months. Obviously, nobody really expects anything to be carried through to its logical conclusion in the court. But, there could be some interim action like we saw in Delhi and, on a smaller scale. So the pressure may go up, and that may decide what Mr. Stalin, how Mr. Stalin reacts, in the next few months, in the run-up to the elections itself. we really don't know what the end game is as far as this particular issue is concerned. But today, from whatever we read from journalists' reports and so on, there's something pretty big cooking, which we may get to know in a few weeks.
Okay, so what is cooking, Dr. Radhakrishnan?
As far as the TASMAC case goes, I think, there is an attempt to involve people close to Udayanidhi in this particular issue, but then, those are all rumors because that person, the person being talked about, is right now in Austria and he's very public about it, and his brother is an IPS officer. I don't think there is a problem there at all. These are just rumors, number one. Number two, every single political party is on the same side in Tamil Nadu when it comes to the two-language policy and the implementation of NEP, barring the BJP. So given that optics, it's good for the DMK to also politically, approach the Supreme Court, keep this issue in the news, and, try and force every single political party and, to take a side, basically what they have said earlier throughout their existence. So it actually creates fissures between the ADMK and BJP at this point of time, which are an alliance at this point of time in the run-up to the 2026 elections. And ADMK cannot take a stand which is against what it has stood for and what its cabinet stood for in 2020. So that creates fissures within the BJP alliance itself. So there are a whole lot of huge dynamic into this. Apart from trying to get the money out, this is essentially the heart of Stalin's politics. When he does something, he does. There is an administrative reason to do it. There is a political reason to do it, and of course there are a lot of discomfort that the allies have. That is exactly why Stalin is asking ADMK chief EPS the questions on the new education policy, on Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan and all of that. So this all makes sense, and it's a win-win for MKS as far as he's concerned. And he can be seen as the guy who is actually bowing down to the demands of the people, to the democratic norms, and going and meeting the Prime Minister, being part of a meeting where the Prime Minister is presenting something and all of that. So he is being seen as being the guy who is doing the right thing all along, and is increasingly making it seem as if the BJP is a party which is trying to do the wrong thing, wrong by the state, wrong by the people of the state.
Okay. Mr. Annadurai?
Yeah. See, our leader, Mr. MK Stalin, has clarified, the Chief Minister has clarified on why he is going to this Niti Aayog meeting. We want fair devolution. So all these demands will be made. And what better platform than the Niti Aayog? So the entire country will know how the state of Tamil Nadu has been betrayed by the BJP. Everything, whatever you ask, there will be a sarcastic reply from BJP. We asked funds for a natural disaster. And you know what audacity they had? Some minister from the BJP said, oh, you think we are having an ATM? So that whenever you want money, we can give it back? We are not asking your money. We are asking the money which we should normally get if it is Gujarat. You are immediately parachuting there and giving around 1,000 crores. And we make a demand for 30,000 crores.
I have just enough time for Umanandan for the last word on the last word tonight.
This is what it will be highlighted there.
Okay. So the Chief Minister, attendance in itself is a message that he wants to, perhaps in that meeting itself, take on the center. I get your point. Please go ahead, ma'am.
I would like to remind Mr. Annadurai, they all have a very, very short and a very convenient memory. Where was Mr. Stalin during the last meeting, Niti Aayog meeting? And now he's rushing because of the situation, whatever may they say. And then he talks about corruption. Corruption and DMK are synonymous. We all know that, right from the day of Sarkaria. And then they were against Indira Gandhi, but at the same time, the Kalainya marked the Sarkaria commission. He was the same man who said, Nehru's daughter, she is welcome. There, at that time, the same man, because he had to get free of the Sarkaria, and we all know that. Sarkaria's command, a scientific scandal. Nothing more can be said about this thing. And now he talks about clean governance and Mr. Stalin's bravery and all that. We will know about that bravery in a few days. Because it is right at there. And please, Mr. Saravanan and his team should teach us how to become crorepatis. 600 crores, 800 crores.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You should ask Mr. Amit Shah. You should ask Mr.
Confrontation, more debates and discussion on this. Really appreciate your time.